If you can't be good, be bad.
Karolina is from Poland and Chuck is from Long Island, New York. They both now live in Tampa, Florida, and together you guys are making films. And that's awesome that a husband and wife are making films together, because you guys are 24/7 thinking of ideas and
How does that happen, actually? I wanted to ask you, like, what did you just go out to dinner one night and get drunk and say, hey, let's go make some horror films? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, how did that actually happen?
No, this is a funny story, because you have to take into consideration that Chuck has very, creative personality.
Uh-huh.
So what happened is we went to New York one day, and that was like 10 years ago. And we were walking around in the woods, where's Mount Misery Road, Huntington.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So he said, well, I'm going to show you, because, I'm not from U.S., so I'm from Poland. He said, I'm going to show you around. I'm going to show you the most haunted road in America, this and that. And he took me there, and we were walking around, and he took the cell phone out. And he started filming me. I said, walk around over here, walk around. So then I started walking around. I said, oh, that looks pretty cool. So let's make something out of it. So we came back to the hotel and we reviewed the films that we took that day. And he said, oh, that would be a great idea to make a movie about Mount Misery Road. And since that day, we were just started shooting some content, and then we made our first movie.
It's a little bit more in detail, but actually, this is Amityville, Mount Misery Road.
That's great.
And that film was released, and it was also in Walmart. You were selling it all over the place,
It
right?
went viral. I mean, literally was sold out in 1 week all around the United States. And we didn't even in our wildest dreams ever think something of that.
So something that you would just sort of like, not joking around, but kind of didn't really have a plan, and here you are.
Karolina is a professional editor, so she was editing the film.
That's great.
At the Holiday Inn in Plainview over there.
That's crazy.
And we went back to the hotel, and she said, hey, I think I put some film together here. What do you think of this? I said, hey, let's go back there again the next morning.
Wow.
So we went back there. We were filming in like 8-degree weather. And we were there, probably for 3-4 more days. And literally went back to Florida. We shot some scenes here in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And then we needed more footage. So when we went back up to Long Island, we went back up there again. We went back into the woods and shot some film. And the second time we went back there, though, it started to get a little bit haunting because things started happening. Because we researched Mount Misery Road, and we researched, it's one of the most hauntedest roads in the world. The settlers were warned by the native Indians to stay away from that area. There's red glowing lights going on at night. There's nothing that grows on the slopes. There's an old asylum there, Foundation Mary, the deranged patient. She burned down the first asylum. The story goes on and on and on, and we found it very fascinating.
Definitely.
We actually went down to Huntington, the villages of Huntington. We were invited to do some research, and from maps from like the 1700s, it says Mount Misery Road on it. And
wow.
So it became this ghostly kind of thing,
Wow. I love that.
And we had a blast making it. It was just me and her, and maybe one or two other people, and we had a blast making it, and we put it out there, and they were literally fighting over it in Los Angeles.
They really liked the movie, and we end up selling the movie in Walmart, online, on all the platforms. So we were having many people following that movie at that time, and we even had haters and lovers. Mm-hmm. We had some people, if you don't have haters, that means you're not doing something right.
Right.
That's true.
So people were messaging me with some death threats on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
That required blocking. So it was crazy at that time. That was 2018, I think, or 17.
We filmed it in 16. I think it came out in 17 or 18.
Wow.
But the thing, Newsday did a write-up on it. Long Island, News did it. Then we were on the radio. I mean, it was a little bit crazy, man. It was something different than I've ever done before. And we got the bug. And that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
You got the bug from doing a video that you really didn't know was going to go viral. You were just walking around with your cell phone camera, and everybody
copied us after that.
Oh, yeah.
distribution company, ITM Films, thanks to Stuart Austin and his wife, Nico. They knew it was right around the corner from Amityville, so they tagged on Amityville to it. And then everybody, there was like at that time, I think maybe 6 Amityville films.
Right.
And then after that, there's like 25 of them after that.
Yeah, so if you go to Wikipedia, you actually can see our movies like number 6 or 7, and there's 20 other movies after us.
Okay, well, you were trailblazers there, but that's great.
So some of your acting wasn't really acting. You were actually feeling the haunt of being at Mount Misery Road.
People thought it was like a vacation movie.
Yes.
They thought it was a couple just filming, which made it more kind of organic
Like
and
a vlog.
natural,
Yeah.
I filmed it on a Galaxy 7 Android.
Imagine.
So it can be done, which is exciting. And that led us to our second film when we came back to Florida, which was The American Ripper.
The American Ripper, and that was in 2023. You did that during
We started filming that during COVID,
Right.
so it didn't come out until 23 because we had some problems and we were doing everything ourselves at that time. So when you do everything yourself, it's kind of a journey, like you have to do everything, and makeup and lighting and everything, camera work.
Look at that. That's great too.
Production.
The cover.
That's
So-
why I was wondering, like the special effects, like in a bloody scene, like in Bad Bunny or something like that. Like who's in charge of the blood and all that, the guts? That's you.
Karolina did it.
Oh yeah, you did a great job, and you also acted in it as well.
Thanks. Yeah. So it was a lot of work in Bad Bunny, but also The American Ripper. If you watch that, guys, it took us a lot of our time to make that movie in our hearts, because we did everything literally ourselves, and to do that, to get into the role plus makeup and the whole production. It's from our hearts, so we really put everything into it.
There was nobody working at that time. It was COVID. So, we were actually getting our food delivered to the house. Nobody was really going out here in Tampa Bay.
Right.
There was a wave of that COVID killing friends of ours, breezing through all the, states of America. And so we had nothing to do. So we said, hey, let's make another movie. And we would wake up on the weekends thinking we're the only craziest couple in Tampa making this bloody film in our own house, But it won Best Featured Film in Tampa Bay, number one out of thousands of videos. It won Orlando Best Featured Film in Phantasma. Grindhouse. Karolina won Best Actress on it. Amazing. She kept saying, "Oh, you're going to take first place on it," and she actually beat me on it.
I don't know why.
And I played the music on it too. I played all the music.
That's great. I want to check that one out for sure. And where did you film around the Tampa area? Because my daughter went to U Tampa, and I heard that campus is haunted. I don't know if there's any truth
actually,
to that.
Chuck, you told us that.
Chuck that said that? Yeah. Whereabouts Tampa did you do some filming?
We did it around Lutz, Land O'Lakes, Florida.
Okay.
So it was around our area, but most of the time we film in the house.
Okay.
And it's a great story. It's a psychological thriller. Our influencers were Misery, the movie Misery.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Yep.
All right, so Chuck is playing the psychopath in this movie. And he's transforming from the attorney to this like psychopath killer. Okay, so you gotta see the transformation. He's just acting just like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Wow, love it.
It's kind of crazy, the movie is really.
I thought my friends were going to think, "What the hell is he thinking? Well, what is he, crazy?" So, but we had a blast. We do like horror. We come from a horror background. We do like thriller, suspense, and so we made this sick film. We wanted to make this a sicko film, and Karolina literally was up at 5 o'clock in the morning putting blood all over her. Anything that happened around the house, we had buzzards, eating a turtle in the backyard, fly
on the bones.
Yeah. So people were thinking, and we added some cannibalism to it.
Oh, geez.
So
I mean, it's a movie. You gotta watch it. So it's all special effects.
But we had to take all the furniture out of my house, and we had to put it all back in. It was a lot of work.
I wonder what your neighbors may have thought. Like, what's happening?
They actually participate.
We actually-
Oh, good.
That's great.
That's
One of the
awesome.
neighbors participate as one of the
You
police
have to,
officers.
yeah. Otherwise, you'd have people like
that-
a bunch of
that's-
Karens.
that's-
What's going on across the street?
That's our neighbors.
Yeah.
You can't beat them, join them.
I could not find a police officer. I needed a police officer to play a detective in the film, and,
Right.
and we were knocking our heads against the wall, saying, "Okay, who can play this part? Who can play this part?" You know. And I kept saying, "Hey, this guy named Ross Stempler, which actually is the same birthday as Karolina. We didn't even know it." I approached him, and he was looking at me weird, like, "Okay, he just had that prick look. He had that mean prick motherfucker look.
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Nope. It's all good.
But we put him in the film, and he ended up playing in 2 other films. He's in 3 films of ours.
And actually, we filmed in his house once too.
We actually filmed Killer Grannies in his home.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Another big production.
Big production, which was a few productions later. We
A
filmed
few years later.
a few years later. We used his house to do another production. But he's now like a movie star. People, when he gets his teeth done, and people say, "Oh, you're in that
movie.
film. You're in that film." Oh my God! And he goes, "Yeah." He walks around, boasting that he's a celebrity now in the film. The American Ripper.
Oh, good for him. That's crazy.
You can feel the beat within my